The content of this video may feel a bit messy, but it's to demonstrate how extremely rich and diverse Iran truly is. Mountains, sea and desert, a powerful cocktail of landscapes, environments and emotions. We bring into it our usual bit of history and culture, the Persian Gulf escapade, and the unforgettable Iranian dinner at a newly made friend's house.
I know what I have to do.
After our recent experience through the Iranian Kurdistan, we leave the northwest for good, impatient for a change of landscape and see the Persian Gulf for the very first time. We won't stay long in this rather humid and hot area though. We instead cross the Zagros mountains to reach epical Shiraz and go slightly further. Well, this was a scary night. We have been under hailstorm before, but it was never this bad, and there was lightning all around and close to us. I wonder what would happen if one had hit us. The tall antenna 50 meters away may have saved us. A quick stop in Kermanshah. Taq-e Bostan, which means Arch of the Garden, is a site with a series of large rock reliefs from the era of the Sassanid Empire of Persia, carved around the 4th century along the historic Silk Road caravan route. Our next stop is at the Chonga-Zambil Ziggurat, south of Dezful, an ancient Elamite complex about 3,270 years old. A ziggurat is a massive structure formed by terraced compounds and receding levels, the most renowned being the biblical Tower of Babel, and you may have seen pictures of it. This is one of the few existing ziggurats outside ancient Mesopotamia, and overall one of the best preserved, although the build was never completely finished. The Shushtar historical hydraulic system, inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and referred to as a masterpiece of creative genius, has origins that can be traced back to Darius the Great in the 5th century BC. Shushtar infrastructure includes watermills, dams, tunnels and canals with a spectacular cliff from which water cascades into the downstream basin. It bears witness to the know-how of the Elamites and Mesopotamians, as well as more recent Nabatean expertise and Roman building influence. We also make friends with Akbar Barami and his joyful companions. Meanwhile, we have reached the southern plains of Mesopotamia, the vast region marked by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which from this end goes to Baghdad and further into Syria. Let's check what surprise lies ahead. When it rains here, it often causes lots of damage. I guess it will take a while till this gets repaired. And luckily we can well spot this hazard easily. We almost exclusively drive during daylight, mainly because it's so much easier to find a campground before it gets dark. This is also the strategically important region where most of the Iranian crude oil and gas are extracted, so we are not surprised to witness all these pits, pipes, wells and fire-spitting chimneys. We finally reached the Persian Gulf, right opposite Kuwait, and spent some time enjoying the sea breeze and celebrating the milestone with a compulsory selfie. And our night camp close to Bandar Bushehr is in the middle of a palm plantation, plagued by millions of mosquitoes. The air is incredibly humid and close to 40 degrees hot. What a contrast from the freezing temperatures we were exposed to only a couple of days ago. In these conditions, the best is to sit in the vehicle, turn on the air conditioning, and gently drive through these desolate plains and hills. Very appealing and fascinating to us, though. So, we decided to take a 300 kilometers detour to visit some unique rock formations, something we have never witnessed before. The Jashak Salt Dome is nothing less than an entire mountain of salt, 12 kilometers long, 4.5 kilometers wide, millions of tons of salt. Most of the Jashak salt is pure white, but on the foot of the mountain there are also orange, yellow, red and grey strays, indicating the existence of metal elements. That's why they are also called rainbow salt. Water erosion thus creates caves formed by the melting of salt sediments, and very funny looking columns called Taq-e, also subjects of local legends. It's damn hot here, way over 35 degrees Celsius, and the shiny salt rocks only make it worse, but climbing them is a truly amazing experience. To reach Shiraz, we need to cross the Zagros Mountains, a long mountain range that covers almost the entire Kurdistan in the north, then follows Iran coast on the Persian Gulf, ending at the Strait of Hormuz. Its total length is 1,600 kilometers, and the highest point is the Mount Dina at over 4,400 meters, not far from where we are in these images. This region is inhabited by the Qashqai people, a conglomeration of clans originally nomadic pastoralists, which travel with their flocks twice yearly to and from the summer highland pastures to the winter and warmer lands near the Persian Gulf. Here is a local family washing their carpets in a river. Welcome to the gorgeous Shiraz, one of the oldest cities of ancient Persia and capital of the Fars province. Shiraz is known as the city of poets, literature, wine and flowers. Two famous poets of Iran, Hafez and Saadi, are from Shiraz, and their tombs are on the northern side of the current city boundaries. Ali ibn Hamzeh is a sacred figure for Shiites. He was prosecuted by the Caliph and fled to Shiraz in 805, but after staying hidden for a while, he was captured and eventually killed. Later on, around 950, the local ruler built him this shrine, which was further developed over the years. The glasswork of this glittering mausoleum looks amazing to say the least, and a mere photo does not do it justice. The Nazir al-Mulk Mosque, also known as the Pink Mosque, is a traditional mosque built during the Qajar dynasty rule of Iran, hence quite recent and heavily influenced by European culture. The floral and bright-colored tilework is remarkably beautiful, and we wish we would have been here early enough to admire the pink colors radiated at dawn. Shiraz has been a regional trade center for over 1,000 years. The Wakil Bazaar has beautiful courtyards, caravanserais, bathhouses, and old shops which are deemed among the best places in Shiraz to buy all kinds of Persian rugs, species, copper handicrafts, and antiques. Right outside the bazaar, we can't miss the opportunity to stock up our coffee reserves with some dearly needed Indonesia and Arabica blends.
We are calling you. Label. Coffee.
The most memorable of the experiences, though, was to meet Obeys and his family. He kindly invited us for lunch. Let's hear from him what exquisite dishes his mother prepared.
So this is korma sabzi, and that's basically meat and red beans, potato, and loads of vegetables. And this is Shirazi salad. It comes, you can see tomatoes and onions and all that. And this is called it Taq-e. In between, in the middle, it's chicken, and it's rice. And we like to, make it a little bit crispy. If you touch it, it's crispy. And this is obviously rice and potatoes. And this is fish, and we call it majbouz. It is like Arabic food. We usually eat it in Bushehr, like in south. And again, korma sabzi, the same thing. And that's shrimp. And it's just my mom loves to make it like that. It's not any specific, yeah, that's it. And we call it turshi. It has a sour taste. We usually take it like side dish, with the food. And that, obviously vegetables. Yep. Plenty of them. We just love to take vegetables. Yep. And that's all. And that's what we call it dur. Obviously you had it. You had it before, right? So, and that's it. And that's
Gel.
Gel. Yeah. We eat it like after food.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. But your mom, she was cooking there all morning?
Yep. In our culture, guests start first, then we start.
Okay, I know what I have to do.
Thank you so much for the hospitality and the delicious lunch. East of Shiraz, there are a few important archaeological sites, starting with Persepolis, an impressive palace complex inspired by Mesopotamian models and built in 518 BC. The importance and quality of these monumental ruins make it a unique archaeological site, though in our opinion not completely at par with the gems we visited along the Aegean Sea. In fact, we are more fascinated by the Naqsh-e Rostam, an ancient necropolis located only a dozen of kilometers further away. These are 4 large tombs cut high into the cliff's face and a group of ancient Iranian rock reliefs from both the Achaemenid and Sassanid periods. The entrance to each tomb is at the center of each cross, which opens into a small chamber where the kings lay in a sarcophagus. As we are the only visitor this early morning, we are fully absorbed by the mystic aura until the first tourist bus arrived. Pasargadae is a limestone tomb believed to be that of Cyrus the Great. Sadly, no other remains have been preserved over time, so we close this chapter and have a first taste of the adventure through the Iranian deserts. Our journey will now continue towards Yazd, but that's a story for next time.